Mental Health Mondays ignite the spark. Hope guides each step, even in the dark. New week, new dreams to see. Hope's the key to what's meant to be.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mental Health Mondays with Hope. I am Hope, and I hope everybody is having a great day. This month, November, is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. And I lost my best friend to lung cancer 4 years ago. And I try to remind everyone in November that what she used to say is if you have lungs, you can get lung cancer. And another thing that she used to say is that, which is true, statistics prove it, that more women die from lung cancer than the reproductive cancers all put together. So ladies, especially, please make sure that you are in charge of and responsible for your own health care and be your best advocate. And, when I talk about my bestie, it's certainly something that still I deal with every day, which is a kind of a great segue to introduce my guest this evening. Her name is Peggy Zachary. She is calling us today from Oklahoma. And we're going to talk about grief and the holidays. And also, you're going to talk about faith a little bit and how, that helps getting through things. Peggy is a very strong woman of faith. And we're going to meet her right now. Hi, Peggy. Welcome.
Oh, hey there.
Hey.
Greetings from Oklahoma.
Greetings from Oklahoma. So we do have Peggy on the telephone, and you can see her gorgeous photo on the screen. So Peggy, would you just tell everybody just a little bit about, before we get into any details, just a little bit about you? Who's Peggy?
Peggy is, let's see, she's a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a daughter, and a very, very faith-believing Christian.
Awesome. And I usually start my shows with a positive affirmation, and it's usually an I am followed by something positive about yourself. So I am, besides all those wonderful things you just said, give me a strength. I am what?
I am a very loving person.
Awesome. I love it. So you've had a pretty rough couple of last years, huh? Few years now with,
I have.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Certainly. In October of 2023, my mother had a COVID shot booster and had a massive heart attack the following day. She was left with 15% heart function and lasted on hospice until April of last year, at which time I took over the care of her husband, my stepdad, Jimmy, and he had dementia and liver cancer, and he passed away this February.
Well, I'm very, very sorry for both of your losses. So that was October of last year it started?
Yes, of 2023.
23, sorry. Oh, wow. Yes. Sorry. You know what? As the older I get, my years just get confused.
They just all run together.
No.
One day,
it does. Everything is yesterday and tomorrow for me. So now from, October of 23 to February of this year, your family, your mom and your stepdad, they live in the Poconos and you're in Oklahoma. But you did something, that was wonderful and maybe a little unique for what other families might have the opportunity to do. What did you do? Do you see where I'm going?
I basically moved to Pennsylvania for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Right. And you have... Go ahead.
I took care of my mother and my stepfather until they both passed.
Right.
And then I had to close up their home, and it's on the market at this point.
Right, right. But now you have a
They
husband.
lived there for 30 years.
Yes.
So 30.
All the accumulations of 30 years.
Plus, you know, I think there could have been a borderline hoarder thing there, if you want the truth.
Well, I mean, you know, I think that generation tended to gather things and then assume that their children, that they would pass it all down to their children. And what we're learning through just observations of society is that, you know, our generation and the younger generation don't necessarily want the stuff.
They don't.
Right.
They really, really don't. And I'm joining that program.
Right.
I don't want it either.
But going back to spending a year and a half in the Poconos from Oklahoma, you have a husband, you have children at home, you have pets.
Yeah.
How did that go? I mean, obviously they must be very supportive and loving, but how was that for you and for them?
I have to say I am blessed with probably the most understanding, kindest husband in the world. He traveled back and forth so many times. We managed to figure out a way to see each other every month that I was there.
Right.
Even if it was just for a day. But he was phenomenal. My kids were incredible. They came and helped when they could. They sent assistance when they couldn't come themselves. I was very, very blessed.
Right. Right.
To have that type of a support system is incredible. And if you don't have it, if I had not had it, there would have been no way I could have done what I did.
Right. Absolutely. No, absolutely. What you did, you know, was absolutely phenomenal. So your mom passed away and then you stayed to take care of your stepdad, who then also, you know, it did pass away. Again, something that I just have always viewed about you as being so phenomenal to take care of a step parent once the parent. And, you know, I mean, I know that, you know, you knew him growing up and you know, he was family. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but for someone to do that, then for a step parent to stay away from their family, to me, it was always so remarkable. And for me personally, that says a lot about your character. That says a lot about who you are as a woman of faith within your faith. I'm just so proud to know you. Oh, you're welcome. How did you come to that decision to do that? I mean, I know, you know, there are legalities and things like that, but like in your heart, in your mind, with your family, like how did you come to that decision to remain there?
Well, it was obviously not an easy decision. My husband and I prayed about it. We talked about it. We figured out the financial aspects, the emotional part, the how are we going to pull this off part, because, you know, he has responsibilities and things here in Oklahoma. He couldn't just up and come with me and stay as much as he would have.
Right.
But we spent a lot of time praying about it first and listening to what we received in response to those prayers.
Right. Right. And I feel like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can say, you know, I had friends that are more like sisters, you being one of them, and others that we've known our whole lives that were phenomenal in just being emotional support as well as physical support. I could not have done the things that we accomplished without y'all.
Right. Right. Well, thank you. And it was truly an honor and a privilege to be part of that whole process, with your mom and your stepdad. And you said that you prayed about it. And I know that there were probably several times that you prayed about it, because there were times that were very, very frustrating, and that, maybe you felt like throwing in the towel and just walking away. So
Daily.
daily. And again, a lesser person or a weaker person or a less faithful person may have done that. And so again, I'm just trying to get at like what makes you different. And I know that I know you're probably going to say, look, I'm no better or different than anybody else, but I just want to, like, what makes you tick versus somebody else? How is it that, go ahead.
To be honest, many times in that time that I was there, I heard some people saying, "It's your stepdad. Why would you still be there?" How do you reconcile that in your heart and with God if I turned away?
Right.
There's not, but I don't have that in me.
Right.
I could not have left him and allowed him to die alone. That would not have been anything that I could have lived with in my heart. And it's not what God wanted for me.
Right.
So,
right.
We do what we're led to do, and at that particular time, it was take care of Jimmy.
Right. Right. Can we tell a funny story about Jimmy and your name? Can we share that?
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead. Oh, you want me to? No, go ahead. You tell it. You tell it better than I do. It's your story. So, I love this, guys. You guys have to listen. Sorry, go ahead. I was just telling everybody they really need to listen.
You're fine. Back when my mother and Jimmy met, I had moved away and out of state and upset my mom by doing that. So she started calling me Megan.
Now let's not forget, our guest's name is Peggy.
That's how she introduced me to him.
As Megan.
As Megan.
Now is Megan...
She stopped calling me Megan, but he didn't.
Right. So he never knew that your real name was Margaret or Peggy. He never knew that.
No. Nope.
And how long were they married?
At the end when... I'm sorry?
How long were they married?
38 years.
And for 38 years, he thought you were Megan.
Yes. And even towards the end, with the dementia, he was saying that I was his wife, but that my name was Megan.
Right, right. Now, is Megan anything, like, is that your middle name? Like, is it anything is it a family name, or it's just what your mom came up with as your alter ego?
Yep. Alter ego, 100%. Yep.
I love it. I love it. I just love that story. And I mean, I have to tell everyone that, when Jimmy was in the hospital, I did go visit him, and you were on your way back. And I remember telling him, I said, he remembered who I was at that point. Briefly, this is when he first went in the hospital. He remembered who I was. And I said, Megan's on her way. I had to buy into it because I didn't want to confuse him. I just love that story. But it also goes to, you did have a strained relationship with your mom.
I did.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. And that played a lot on you.
It did. And it played a lot on me for a few reasons. One, because I was not able to be there every minute of Mom's illness because I had to have a surgery and got pneumonia from it. Couldn't take that to her and risk her getting sick, so I had to wait. But that meant that I only got to be there for the last 7 days of her life.
Right. Right.
For Jimmy, I was there from that time in April all the way till the end, except for a few times that I came home for a few days at a time.
Right. Right. And I mean, again, our program is about mental health Mondays. And we are, going to talk about grief, but how did that play on you and your mental health with that strain with your mom? I mean, I know that she knows you love her and she loved you, but, how did you handle that?
It was hard. It was very hard because all I kept thinking was, I was not able to be here for her the entire time, but here I am.
Gotcha.
That brought on quite a bit of guilt for a period of time as well. So
okay.
I managed to reconcile that in my heart. And thankfully, my friends, my family, my husband has helped me with that because I struggled. I did. And even ended up on an antidepressant for some of the time I was there.
Right. And
tried to get through it.
Sure. And I'm sure that you absolutely prayed about it. And what I would think or hope that you got out of your prayers was that your mom probably would have wanted you to be there with Jimmy to take care of him.
You think?
I do.
Okay.
I do. No, I do.
Tough.
What's that?
I said she was tough.
Oh, she was definitely tough. But, full disclosure for everyone, I was there throughout this process. And what Jimmy said to me right before your mom passed away was that I asked him if he wanted to go back in and see her. And he said, no, he was good. And I said, are you sure? Because it's not going to be too long. And he said, no. He's like, I think he said he held her hand. I don't remember that part specifically, but he said that she smiled to him. And we know their relationship. And for him, like that was him, which is what he said. That was her telling him that she loved him. So, I think at the end, your mom had a tough exterior and, she recognized that she loved Jimmy and he loved her, what have you, I think at the very end. And, I think she probably would have been grateful that you stayed there with Jimmy to take care of him. And that you pushed him around a little bit. I don't mean physically, but I mean that you were firm with him. Let's say it that way. And that you were firm with him like she would have been. Because
I was definitely that.
Right.
I didn't have a choice.
No. So go ahead.
One of the bad parts for Jimmy was he was regressing badly. And so I had to be stern. Mm-hmm. But it broke my heart to do it.
I know. And, maybe we can have a whole episode of talking about like dementia and Alzheimer's. It's very difficult. It's not only difficult on the individual who has the disease, especially as they begin the process, because there's a part of the consciousness that knows something's going on, but just can't grasp it. And then as it progresses, but for the caregiver who a lot of times is the child and, and it's a complete role reversal and, and sometimes people with dementia and Alzheimer's can be very ornery or can, think they can still do things that they can't do, like leaving the house and driving the car or things like that.
Oh, That being said, Hope, I think we need to tell the other funny story.
Oh, which one? Of the door or of the
I'm talking about the box spring to her bed.
Oh. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we'll tell that one when we come back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hold on. All right, we are back. Mental Health Mondays with Hope. I am Hope. I have my friend Peggy Zachary all the way from Oklahoma. Hey, how's your weather down there, by the way?
It was 80 degrees today.
Oh, boy. Oh, I think we
Yeah,
might have hit
we-
37, 38.
Yeah, my husband and I were riding Harley all weekend.
Jelly. I'm so jelly. I haven't had Betty out probably in at least a month. She's tucked away for the winter.
Oh no, we're not ready for that yet.
No.
We still get to drive.
Nice. But before we get into the box spring story, I just want to remind all of our viewers that we are the PA Empowerment Network. And if you have not subscribed to us yet, please subscribe. Oh, yes, please subscribe to our channel, PA Empowerment Network. I can't speak. And I want to say hi to the people who are watching right now. Thank you so much. And if you have not hit the subscribe button, go ahead. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And this link will remain on our YouTube channel. So after the program, you can copy the link and send it to your friends. And Miss Peggy, I'll make sure that I send it to you, and you can share it with anyone, and it'll be there forever and ever and ever. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Awesome. Yes. So tell us about the box spring. Sorry, go ahead.
So when she got sick and that had the heart attack, she got released from the hospital, and I called your company to come be her hospice. And it was determined that it was unsafe for her to climb up on a stool to get up into her bed with her heart function so diminished.
Right. She had a very high bed.
Oh yeah, it was easily more than waist high for me.
Right.
And so the incredibly kind and wonderful nurse that came to set us up, we talked about it and determined that the box spring had to come out of her bed, or that she had to have a hospital bed, one or the other.
Right.
So between myself and the nurse, we got it out, we put it away, we hid it even, and she called me and cursed me every day because of her bed not being the way she wanted it to be.
Right.
And so a cable man came to the house to repair their cable. And she talked the cable man into putting her bed back together. And then called me and said, "Oh, so you think you're so smart? I got my bed back together, and there's nothing you can do about it."
Oh, yeah.
She was very proud of it.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She was ornery.
She was very ornery.
Which I know I'm laughing, and I think you're laughing a little bit too, but it was very frustrating for you. And, it could be very frustrating for me sometimes as well, but I was an outsider in a sense, it
was frustrating for me because she kept falling.
I know. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And there were definitely some scary times there, caring for your mom, when she had to take nitro and just because you're on hospice, see, nitroglycerin is something that you take for heart pains. And at one point she was in excruciating pain with her heart. And I happen to be the one there. I am not a nurse, and I don't even play one on television. I'm a social worker. And, sorry, that's like my go-to joke. But so, we had to call the office, and, the nurse instructed, and then we had a nurse come out. I could not give her medication. That's illegal. But she could take her own medication. Jimmy could have given her, the medication container and what have you. So that's what we ended up doing. And I just stayed on the phone, with the office until it subsided, or until like our nurse got there. And, that was scary, but in all honesty, what was like a little bit scarier for me, not to be there, not for me being there if your mom was to pass away, because I've been there before, and I think in one sense you may have been comforted knowing that someone that you knew was there when she passed away. But for me, it
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
the flip side of that. Even though I feel that you would have been comforted knowing that, I felt bad if I would have been the one there that when she passed away versus like you being able to be there. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I would like for you to know that 100, absolutely, I would have been comfortable. You are the reason why I went with
I know.
the hospice that I did, because I knew you would make sure
Yep,
she was taken care of when I
absolutely.
couldn't be there.
Yeah, yeah. Even when I had to strong arm her verbally a little bit by just popping in, even though she didn't want to see me. So
Yes, she would call me and
go ahead.
she's here again. That's what she would say.
Yep, I'm doing my job.
Yep.
But if I can pop in unannounced, make sure she's doing what she's supposed to do. So I mean, we know that mom was ornery, and there was some strain there, but that does not mean that there was no love. You loved your mother and she loved you. How you went through a lot, with getting the house together and what have you. How was that emotionally for you?
There were a lot of days that I didn't get out of a chair. And even now, today, I went to storage where all of her things are. And I opened the storage and it smells like her house.
Hmm.
And it's hard. And
Yeah.
it hits hard.
Yeah.
And I have struggled since I've been home to even be going through this stuff, because it means that she's not going to see it again.
Right. 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 And they say the
And
olfactory
She loves
senses.
beautiful things.
Yes. Yes, she did.
And
And you have a lot
I
of
have an
them.
incredible collection now of beautiful things without her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know some of those beautiful things. So, I mean, I know, okay. So for people that, obviously don't know the situation, how big is the storage unit?
It is the size that you would put an RV in.
And is it full?
It's like 20 by 40, and how many feet high? And 14 by 40, and how many feet high? At 14 feet high, and it is 3/4 full to the top.
Okay. And how many dumpsters did you have at the house?
2 overflowing full dumpsters and we're talking about 20, I believe they're 20 yards.
Yep.
Wait a
Yep.
minute.
The big ones, the 20-yard dumpsters.
2 tons. I could put 2 tons of stuff in it.
Okay. Okay. Plus
And
yard
2 of them
sales,
were overflowing, and I should have had a third.
plus yard sales, plus, did you take things to the dump on the trailer? I don't remember. I know you used a trailer to take things home.
Yeah, things got taken to the dump on a
Yeah.
trailer. Things got stashed at friends' houses until I can come back.
Right. Right.
Mom's plants found their ways to wonderful people's houses, like yours.
Yes. Yes. And they're all blooming, by the way.
And I was just going to ask. Yay.
They're all blooming. Yes.
Did you name yours Dawn as well?
I named my car Dawn.
Oh, okay. Yay.
Oh. So that was just somewhat of a visual for everyone, who's watching this, of when you say that your mom had stuff, that she was borderline hoarder. a 14 by 40, you said, storage unit that's 3/4 of the way full, that would be overflowing if everything were in there that, like, you sold, gave away, threw out things that were broken or what have you.
Had I not basically cherry picked, I hate the way that sounds, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's what I had to do.
Right.
They would not have fit in that storage.
Right. And how many tea sets did your mom have?
Over 400.
These are full sets, everybody. These are full sets.
Yes.
These are the teapot. These
each
are
with at least 2 cups and saucers and creamers and sugars and the whole bit. Yeah.
Right. So that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of beautiful things.
Yeah.
And you had to
A lot of
choose.
beautiful things.
You couldn't keep it all.
No.
Nor would you want to. And I'm not being disrespectful, because you would need a whole other house.
No. I would need a monster-sized house to display it the way that it would need to be correctly.
Right. How did you pick? I know there were. Go ahead.
One of Mom's, I'm going to say, mental health curves was that she didn't have things when she was young, so she collected the things that she thought were beautiful.
Right.
And she threw them in the attic or the basement or the closet or wherever.
Right. But she had it.
And let them appreciate and build what she thought was a inheritance for me.
Right. But she did have some very unique, and she did have some very unique and very nice things. But again, it's the matter of what, like for me, my now ex-in-laws had given us 2 sets of china. So I am an odd duck. I collect Princess House, the Fantasia, and that's my holiday, my Princess House Fantasia forever. So I put one set away for Connor and one set away for Sierra. And to me, like, that's good.
Sure.
One set each. How many sets of china do you have?
For most, at least 11.
Right. So
with silverware to go with each one.
Yeah.
And glasses and probably name card holders for each.
Oh, wow. You're
individual salt and pepper shakers.
Right.
And,
right. So it's a lot. You've dealt with a lot. You're still dealing with a lot. I know it's been stressful for you. I know it still becomes stressful or emotional for you. Like you said, when you walk into that storage unit and it smells like your parents' house, the olfactory system is like one of the highest related to memory, like memories. So, that's going to be very common, but frustration, love mangled together in a sense. But still a lot of grief. And how are you managing that?
It's while I was there, it wasn't hitting as hard because I was still there and still in the middle of the chaos. Since I've been home, it's starting to hit a lot harder. I had to have another surgery.
Right.
And if this was the first time that I didn't talk to my mother before I went under anesthesia.
Gotcha.
And, for some people that might not be a big deal, but
No,
Sure.
I mean but that was your routine with your mom. They call it the year of firsts. And it's technically that whole first year of loved one passes away, but it's not necessarily just that year. It's, maybe you have like a surgery 3 years after they pass away, and your routine is to talk to your mom before your surgery. So it's still part of your year of firsts. And it's coming
Yeah.
to terms, with your mom's death, with the parents, a loved one's death for everybody, um, all over again. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm seeing it so much. Like, I'm not sure how the holidays are going to be.
Right. So,
Um,
I mean, obviously it's not going to be
right.
easy. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, like to um, deter you or what have you, but it's your first holidays without having both of your mom and your stepdad, both of them. And I mean, you have your dad, so that's good. But can I ask, have you thought about the holidays besides, I don't know what it's going to be like? Have you thought about any way to include them in your holidays?
Well, one of the things that I found in the attic were Victorian handmade ornaments, and my mother loved Christmas.
Yes.
She had 7 different trees, each with a different theme of ornaments, and I found many, many of her handmade ones, and I'm going to decorate my Christmas with her things.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And
Right. Yeah, I mean,
she hadn't decorated in a few years, but she knew everything that was there, and so did Ginny.
right, right, right. I feel like that's some of the advice that I give families, through bereavement counseling and bereavement groups, is figuring out a way to include your loved ones that have passed in the holidays. And, it can be done in any type of way. I mean, slightly different topic. We just had our 40th high school reunion. And I know we didn't really do it as much as we did like at the 20 and the 30th, is that we recognized and remembered our lost classmates. And it was a soothing way to remember them, that they were still included in our lives as the greatest class ever to graduate from Pocono Mountain, by the way. But it felt nice. And I know it's different when it's a family member, especially a parent, but I'm going to encourage you to talk with Ken, talk with your family, pray on it, and figure out a way to include them in Thanksgiving, whether it's having a favorite flower arrangement, or setting the table the way your mom would set it, because we know that she liked to throw parties back in the day.
I'll for sure be using her dishes.
Good.
I've already picked out which ones, but it was so interesting that even when I was packing the stuff, I could hear her. And no, I'm not quite out there to the point that I hear voices, but
right.
I could hear her asking me, "Do you know what that glass is called? Do you know which fork you need to use for seafood?" And as I was packing the napkins and the tablecloths, all of which she collected, and I could hear her. "You better make sure you clean that correctly."
Now,
all the entire time while I was packing, I could just hear her.
Right. Did you teach that to your children and grandchildren? Because she was very formal with parties. Did you teach that to your children and grandchildren? I didn't teach. I'll be honest. I never taught that to my kids or grandkids.
My daughter is is becoming more into those things, and my mom specifically left her a set of china and some really incredible dishes and silverwares and things. So she took some of the Christmas things as well, and the Vaseline glass that my mother loved so much, we kind of split. So my daughter is very much said she can't wait for me to come to see her house decorated in Grandma.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. That's a great way to celebrate.
Really fun. My daughter's husband just adored Jimmy. He just thought Jimmy was, he aspires to become.
Oh, no, don't
Jimmy
say
when
that.
he gets
No.
Yes, scary, scary thought. But he took, well, he asked obviously if he could have some of Jimmy's special things. You know, down, if you remember, down in his basement, he had a desk that had helicopters hanging from the ceiling and pictures and pens like crazy. And my daughter's husband, my son-in-law, he took Jimmy's things, Jimmy's treasures, and made a room in their house for Jimmy's treasures.
That's beautiful. That is, wow. What an honor. What a way to remember Jimmy like that. Hopefully it's not as many pens.
Well, no, I do believe you got a bag of Jimmy pens, yes. Did you not?
Yes, the Jimmy pens, yes. I know there's a lot of inside jokes here. Jimmy collected pens, didn't matter, pens, to wear gallon bags full of pens. Yeah. And
I made 14.
Yes.
14 bags of pens out of his collection and passed them out to everyone. The bag of Jimmy pens for you and a bag of Jimmy pens for you.
Trick or treat. So, I mean, obviously, we're getting older and, we're going to lose people that we care about. And, it's difficult when it's our parents and when it can be like a tumultuous type of a situation, but the grief and the love is there, and it sometimes is intermingled with, like, when you were remembering, you're like hearing in your mind your mom saying, do you know what this is for? Do you know what that was for? Were you remembering it with love, or were you remembering it with, yes, mother, I know?
Honestly, at the beginning, it was, yes, mother, I know. But towards as things were packing, and it was more with a smile and I'll get it right, Mom, I promise.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It absolutely does. Is there, they always say, to, don't agree to deathbed don't make deathbed promises. And I know that, you didn't do that or what have you, but is there anything different that you're going to do in your life, to honor your mom? Like, since your mom has passed, like, I don't know if I'm asking it correctly. I know, since losing Heidi, one of the things that she said, because, there was a small group of us that we took, her bucket list trips. And the one thing that she said to us was, don't wait until somebody is dying to take the trip. Make the memories now. Tell the people in your life how you feel about them now. Don't wait. And that's something that I have tried to do, like, now every day of my life. Sometimes I share my feelings too much, but I let people know how I feel, and I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve now. And if I tell my friends that I love them, And, and if I have feelings for a gentleman friend, I mean, I don't go like, don't go crazy with it, but I say, hey, I really like you and I really see this, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. I'm not shy about it anymore. Like I would have been maybe when I was younger, or maybe, since Heidi passed. And, take me or leave me. That's the one thing that I've changed in my life, to where I do that to honor her, is to live. And so I don't know if there's any ways that you've changed your life to honor your mom.
Let's see, how can I say this well? Because of the struggle my mother and I had for most of our life, I changed many things when I moved away.
Okay.
One thing that my husband noticed after me being there was that he said, I walked with my shoulders back again. And I wasn't sure what he meant by that at first, but then he said, over time that he's known me and whatnot, since I'd gotten sick and had things happen, that I didn't stand as tall and proud as I used to.
Okay.
And he said that since I was there with Mom and since I've come home, he's seen that return in me.
Wow.
And I know Mom always, she would stick her finger in the middle of your back to make you stand up straight. She made me practice in the driveway in heels on stones with a book on top of my head, so that I walked upright and straight, and proud. And somewhere in there, I guess I just didn't think about it.
Right.
But when I went back to her house, I felt myself, I better stand up straight. She's going to get me.
Right. Right.
And that came back, and I'm going to work hard to keep it.
Okay. Okay. And I feel also, go ahead.
You may remember my mom used to make something she called a cross and pocket.
Yes.
Do you remember her giving you one of those?
I have it. I still keep it in my car.
Well, when she had hundreds of them cut out, but not sewn. They're little, it's just a little plastic canvas, maybe 2 inches by an inch thing, with a poem and a little cross inside. And I have taken over those, and I have probably made thousands of them.
Wow.
Since she passed.
Wow. Now,
and I always
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So I just want to.
I always say that it was her thing that I've continued.
Right. So, what have you done with them since making them?
Oh, wow. Churches ask me for them. My husband and I do a youth conference every year, and I made over 1,000 for that, and every single one of them was gone. The kids absolutely loved them.
Right.
The school that my husband works for has asked for them. They're available in the office at school. Nice.
So, and they're beautiful. And I wish I had mine with me right now to be able to show everyone. They're beautiful. It's just this little, a small cross with a little kind of pocket to put this prayer in. And I actually had a whole bunch, I don't know if you recall, that I gave to my hospice patients, and they loved them.
Well, if you would like more, I will happily mail you some.
Oh, we can always give them out. We'll talk about that later. There's something called the Angel Card Project. So we could definitely talk about that later. I don't know if you've ever I know that you are a woman of strong faith, and that is actually something that I respect about you very, very much. I'm more spiritual. I don't follow necessarily a religion or what have you. and for me, one of the things that I admire in people is when they truly live their faith, not people who preach and then don't live their faith. And also the one thing that I love about you is that you recognize that you're not perfect. And that's not the right way to say it. We're all sinners, and you recognize that
Absolutely.
in yourself and in others, not in a negative way. And that, we're all sinners. And that's why, we pray. And that's why we talk, we talk to God and ask him to help guide us if we're following that type of faith. And that's something that I very much appreciate and respect about you, is because you live your faith, and not everybody can say that. And I have the utmost respect for that. Like I said,
Oh, thank you.
oh, you're very welcome. I'm going to have you step outside of yourself for a second. If you didn't
Okay.
if you didn't have that faith in God, if you didn't have a husband that had that faith in God, because, let's face it, your husband is, truly amazing. He is truly a man of God. How do you think you would have dealt with this? Because we have so many people. Again, I'm a spiritual person. So, I mean, I have my guidelines, but we have so many people who don't have any guidelines. If you were not a faithful person at all, how do you think you would have gotten through all this? And I'm not, this
I'm
is,
not sure
please,
that I would have,
I'm not
to
pushing
be
like
honest.
religion. I'm not anything like
Oh,
that.
gosh, no.
But, I mean,
Absolutely not.
I'm just curious because, we all have some, like, not all, like, if you have some sort of a belief system, I feel that helps you get through things.
Yes.
But if you don't, I just, how different would that look?
I can honestly give you a true answer for that,
Okay.
because I did not grow up in church. We did not, my mom did not do that. As far as God was concerned, he was who you asked to pass a test or not run out of gas running down the road. But I learned about faith and God and forgiveness and all of the things that come with that through my husband, because he's who introduced God to me.
Right.
And so as things got bad and as things got worse and as things got even worse than that, I drew on my faith and my backup system. My pastor was on speed dial. My husband, the entire church would call me on a group conference call thing, and my entire church family would be praying for me and my mother and Jimmy as a collective group on a Sunday morning.
Right.
And
Right.
call me during the service in Pennsylvania and say, "Okay, Miss Peggy, we're praying for you right now."
That's beautiful.
And let's do it.
Right.
And we would do that. If I learned anything, it's, while the church family and the doors are wonderful, it's your own personal conversations that you have with God and your own relationship with Jesus that is, whether you realize it or not, something you do. I didn't know I was praying before I met my husband.
Right.
I didn't know I was asking for that help. And when I started realizing, I started talking to God in the shower. And they started out with, "Excuse me, sir, if you have a minute. Someone said you could help me. And I don't know how to ask you, and I don't know how to talk to you, but I need help. And someone said I could ask you."
Right. Right.
Those were my conversations in the beginning.
Right.
And now to this day, I talk to God like I talk to you. And I get mad, and I get upset, and I get frustrated. And I learned that God has very big shoulders and he can take it all. And
Right.
you can be upset. and then comes the calming. And that's where I'm at now, is the peace is coming. The calming is coming. I still got a boatload of teapots to deal with and craziness, but it's not scary anymore. And I know that all I have to do is God, I need help. And
Right.
it shows up when you don't even ask for it.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Wow. You have a meeting to get to, don't you?
I do.
I don't want you.
But yeah, I actually do have to get to this meeting, and I'm sorry for that.
No. And I think I've kept you. That was a beautiful way to end. Thank you so much for being on the show with us. And I will definitely send you the link and get to your meeting. Thank you so much. Peggy Zachary, everyone. We're talking about grief, the holidays, and faith. Thank you again. Have a good else. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Mental Health Mondays with Hope.